Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining the Why You Need an Effective Event Management Strategy for BSM or Business Service Management webcast today. I'm Franny Schmidt, your Tivoli User Community Manager, and as part of your community management team, I would like to encourage you to visit the community following this webcast to download this presentation and previous presentations that have been given to our member community. Today, Mike Elby will be discussing why it's important to place the event management strategy at the core of any business service management implementation. Mike is an enterprise monitoring engineer at a federal government agency. Before we get started today, I'd like to cover some administrative details. All the phone lines are currently in listen-only mode, and there will be a question and answer session at the end of the presentation with instructions being given at that time. You may ask a question at any time using the chat window located in the control panel, and these chat questions will also be answered at the end of the presentation. Today's session is being recorded, and you'll be provided with a copy of the materials following today's call. So with that, I'll turn the presentation over to Mike. Mike, take it away.
Strategy for business service management. Hello,
you know what,
can everyone
Mike,
hear me?
I'm sorry. I apologize for interrupting. I had you on mute there to get rid of some background noise. If you would start over again, I apologize. Please go ahead. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, everyone, and good morning. I appreciate your attendance at this specific webinar to talk a little bit about effective event management strategy in support of your BSM deployments. Again, I am Mike Elby III, Enterprise Monitoring Engineer at a federal government agency. Hold on, I'm trying to get this thing to work. Okay, thank you. In just introducing myself, again, I am an engineer working at a federal government agency. We manage multiple Tivoli NetCool tools, and we're currently deploying a manager of managers environments for the agency. So we're looking at the tools such as ITM, such as NetCool Omnibus, NetCool Impact, and more importantly, PBSM. And I felt that there was a need to address the logical approach of doing a BSM deployment. Having worked on several deployments, I kind of saw that there was a deficiency in analysis being placed on event management. I've always heard the talk about how we can create wonderful dashboards with the BSM product, TBSM, and how we can do custom canvases, but no logical approach was given. So it was always up to the customer to kind of lay out those requirements. And in my experience, I've learned that it is more important to stress a logical driven approach than just to walk into a customer site and say, okay, I know how to install TBSM, or I know how to install NetCool Omnibus. So with that said, I just want to put this little disclaimer in before I get started. I am not an expert, but I am a student of the Tivoli tools. I've been working with them for some time now. And I've learned that it's, again, important that we logically approach how we deploy these tools so that we can effectively provide understanding to the customer on what we deploy. We've come into an era where costs are very important as far as what customers pay for the Tivoli tool sets and what they expect to receive from them. So my approach is always a logical one so that I can sit down with a CIO, so I can sit down with a group of managers, a group of project managers, a group of SMEs, and sit down and talk about what it is they want these solutions to provide for them. And in doing so we give them an understanding so that when we say, okay, I need to purchase this NetCool Omnibus probe so that I can get a specific type of an event into the environment, they kind of have some background to go with it, and they can make sense of it all, so it's easier when we're asking them to spend money. So with that said, I'm going to go right into it. The objectives of this webinar. First point, and I think I've said it once or twice already, provide a logical driven approach to the deployment of BSM. Again, I've worked in several environments where they were trying to deploy BSM. And nobody really sat down and said, okay, how are we going to do this step by step? What education do I need? What do I need to identify in my environment? What monitoring tool do I need to have in place to make BSM a reality?